Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Platonic Noobs. This is Jager, and today I'm going to be answering one simple question. Is Killingfloor 2 a good successor to Killingfloor? Killingfloor 2 just came out on April 21st, and a lot of people are curious if it is going to be a good successor to the original Killingfloor that all of us put so many hours into. So I'm going to jump straight into it and answer that question for you guys. We're going to check it out. So first of all, here is the menu really quick. There are 4 classes so far in the game. There's Berserker, Commando, Support, and Field Medic. You can also pick between a few different characters. One cool thing I have to admit that you can do now is you can actually go and you could put like clean, you could put face camo on, you can choose their uniform, so like green uniform. I think we're inside, so we're going to go with a black uniform just because it looks cool. There's a snow uniform. Oh, looks like I'm going with the snow uniform. But it is cool. You can actually customize your character a little bit. And let's just see. So the starting pistol for the medic is a medic pistol. It's kind of a futuristic. The medic has some kind of futuristic weapons. They're not weapons that are actually found in real life, unfortunately. But they are pretty cool looking. It looks really good. Oh, somebody's birthday party was here. That's unfortunate. Things did not go as planned for them. Is there any cake here? I do. Oh, fuck, there's some cake! Yeah! Sorry. I love the slow motion, though, and the music is just beautifully wonderful. Now, I must apologize. I've only played, like, 2 matches of this, so I do suck. I'm not going to be pulling off as many headshots as you want, but this is the iconic slow-mo. It does kind of go to an interesting kind of black and white view with blood showing up very well. Oh, hello. Oh. Alright, so headshot. Oh, that is so satisfying, though. So, I'm just going to answer the question really quickly. Is this game a good successor to the first Killingfloor? The answer to that question is absolutely hail fucking yes. This game brings back everything I wanted it to in the Killingfloor franchise. Or not franchise, it's only had one other game. But it really does bring back all those feelings, all those good times in the first Killingfloor. The reason I started playing the original Killingfloor is because I played Call of Duty World at War Zombies, and I wanted a game kind of like that. And none of the Call of Duty's new zombies quite satisfied me. They just didn't feel quite right to me. But this, the Killingfloor series, the first Killingfloor, really felt good to me. The gunplay was extremely responsive, and there was some fun classes to be played, some cool zombie types. And these guys have brought back everything I loved about the franchise. Or once again, I said franchise, but it's actually just a single game so far. But they've brought back the feeling from the original game, and they've added stuff and made it look better. So the biggest points that I can think of positive-wise are obviously the look of the game is very nice. Man, I can't even buy this. I've been talking too much and not paying attention. I might be able to sell this, though, and buy it. No, we're just going to fill up on everything. We're going to fill up on this, and then my grenades, which are good to have. Okay, but the graphics are obviously much better. The lighting looks beautiful. It's still not the newest Unreal Engine that they could be using, but it's a heavily modded version of the Unreal Engine, so it does look very nice. The character models, as you can see, are pretty good looking. The texture quality is quite nice on this guy. He probably thinks I'm a weird ass. You know, even on close examination, things don't look too bad. The gun models are great. That's the next big thing that I have to say positive about the game, is the guns feel amazing. I literally have never played I've never played a game that has gun mechanics that feel this solid and this satisfying. And maybe that has a little bit to do with the enemies that you're shooting, just how awesome it is to destroy them, and the music playing in the background, but they just feel solid, they feel heavy, they feel weighty. There's some meat behind each shot you take, even with a pistol. Like, let's switch to this this pistol right here. I think this is the Beretta. I can't be sure, though, just because I'm kind of trying to concentrate on shooting this nasty-ass woman here, but everything just feels satisfying to shoot. The sound quality is good. Everything has a good kick, a good punch to it. It's kind of hard to explain without actually shooting the gun. I'm just using descriptions that I've heard other people say, and I'm kind of using the same one. Oh, here comes some of these crawling guys. But they just feel great. We'll just leave it at that now. Another big improvement they've made is the animations for a lot of these guys. As you'll see, these guys actually have a lot of animations that they can use. Oh, I've pissed them off now. Uh, you'll see the most animations, I think, so far that I've seen anyways. Oh shit, it's one of these guys. With the stalkers, which are the invisible girls, they can like do backflips and just twirl around in the air, and they're doing like high kicks at you and shit. I don't know what's going on with them, but it's freaking awesome. And I saw an interview with the devs for this game, and they were saying that they can do that kind of stuff now because the hitboxes are better for headshots. So now you can pull off a headshot while they're backflipping through the air, whereas before the hitbox was kind of like floating in that same area of their head. So that's kind of a cool new feature. I know I'm a medic and I should probably be healing these guys, but this is a beginner match and we're in the early waves and I'm trying to talk to you guys, so you'll have to forgive me for my mistakes I made. Oh, I can heal this guy. Watch this. Poke! Yeah, so that's cool. What else can I say super positive about the game? I guess the best thing to say really is that it's an improved version of Killingfloor. This is the game that they said they wish they could have made at the time. This is the game they've wanted to make. So I think that pretty much sums up everything that I could possibly say. Man, I'm still doing really bad on ammo and money. I'm not doing good on money. I'm not even going to buy anything. I'm going to save up to get the next weapon. But really, it is an improvement on Killingfloor. Pretty much everything I can think of, they've improved on. I've heard that the classes are... I haven't played enough to know much about the classes, besides what I've seen from the older games, but I hear that the classes have been improved slightly. I'm going to heal this guy. He's another medic, but... Oh, I missed. So let's talk about things that aren't so great, and this list is going to be short. The biggest complaint I have so far is... Obviously, this is early access. This is... I don't even know if it's considered beta, but it's considered early access. And it doesn't have all the classes in it yet, and it's only got 3 maps so far and 1 game mode. However, I have faith in them, and I believe that there will be more class. They've already talked about more classes, more levels, more game types. So I'm pretty confident in that they will bring those things into the game. Obviously, early access comes as kind of a bad word these days. It's not something you like to hear about a game, because so many people have abused the system, especially zombie games. I mean, let's be real here. How many zombie or just survival games in general are there right now that are early access that haven't come out? DayZ, H1Z1, 7 Days to Die, Rust is kind of in that category, Subnautica, the Stranded one. It's just tons and tons and tons of early access games that have disappointed us. Some have been fun, some have been better than others, but it is definitely something that makes people hesitant to buy another early access game. So I can understand that, and the thing that I can say about Killingfloor 2 versus some of the other early access games is that it doesn't feel like the game is broken and they've just released it to have public testers. It feels like it's just lacking some of the content that they're still wanting to put into it, such as levels and classes and more weapons. And I do have faith in them that they'll put all those things in. But the zombie types are already great. The animations are great. The gore is fantastic. The music is great. The only other complaint I can really think of at this time, besides lack of content because it's early access, which is more a complaint about early access games in general than Killingfloor 2, is the simple fact that there are some sound bugs, and I haven't heard any sound bugs in this match so far, but the last match I played had some sound bugs where the music would just randomly stop and then restart in certain areas, and the weapon I was using wasn't making any sounds at all. I'm not sure if that was a problem on my end, or... Well, it shouldn't have been a problem on my end, but either way, it was kind of frustrating, but it wasn't a huge deal, and I haven't seen it since that match that it was happening. As far as performance, how is the game performing? I am getting 60 plus frames a second, and I am not running a huge, big rig. I'm using a pretty average PC gamer setup. I have a GTX GeForce 760, and I'm running a shitty AMD 6-core. I can't even remember the name of it. So it's not like a really hefty setup or anything. It's a pretty simple gaming setup. Let's buy this guy. So as long as you have a pretty decent gaming PC, you should be able to run this. And I'm running at the highest graphics settings, or at least high graphics settings at the moment. So That should tell you something about it. We're going to go ahead and buy all these, and this. Okay, cool. So this is the submachine gun for the medic. The medic's guns actually have this cool ability where you can actually shoot a medic dart to heal people, like I just did there. Oh, you were healed by taco something. Let's see, what else can I think of to talk about in this game so far? I mean, the gun models look great as far as I'm concerned. The sway is good, and this game builds off the idea of continual horde fighting, just fighting wave after wave of enemies, and so in order to do that well, you have to have satisfying gameplay within that loop. It's just a looping gameplay, doing the same thing, so you have to have something really satisfying about the game, and just everything about this game makes it satisfying. Everything down from the sound effects of hitting people, blowing people up, the sound effects of the Zeds, or the zombies in the game, to the gunplay, to the class system. Everything feels really solid. I would like to find some more complaints with the game, but I'm having a hard time doing it. I mean, you have to keep in mind what the game is. Obviously, if you're not into horde survival styled games, continual loop, doing the same thing, shooting zombies over and over again, you're not going to find this very enjoyable. But if you're like me and you really enjoyed Killingfloor 1's continual loop, or the Call of Duty World at War Zombies type thing, then I think you'll find this really entertaining. And I'd highly recommend you check it out. And if you'd like to wait till it comes out completely instead of buying the early access version, I do not blame you at all. While I can recommend this game in its early access phase, I wouldn't blame you at all for waiting for the full release to come out, because then it'll have all the levels, all the weapons, and all the classes, and more characters and shit like that. And I'm sure if they do anything like they did before, they're going to have a lot of DLCs that include things like weapons and new characters and items for your characters. However, they've said that they don't want to include DLCs that are huge game-changing things. So a lot of the best weapons are available for everyone, but some of the kind of like side weapons, like choices for weapons, will be paid for DLCs later on in the game. And while I personally dislike these kind of microtransactions for small bits and pieces, every game under the sun is doing it, and while I'm not happy with that, and I don't think you guys should be happy with the state of microtransactions either, it's like I've been numbed to the effect of microtransactions. It seems like every single game ever released in the last 3 years has microtransactions in it of some sort, so it's really hard to even get away from that. So I'm not gonna spend too much time harping them about that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is just kind of my views on the current build of Killingfloor 2. This is, again, just like 5 days after they went full release, or 3 days, something like that. They just barely fully released it, or released it for early access, so keep that in mind. I'm going to follow this guy here. But I don't know if I'm going to continue this video. If I decide not to, then this is the end, and I thank you guys so much for watching this video. If I decide to do the entire match, then continue to watch, and I'll tell you a story. What good story can I tell you guys? I don't know.